सा बदला हुआ. Alright, we're on. Hey, let's go. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine and I hope you're all ready for Game Week 3, and I hope you had a decent start to the season, unlike myself, and which I haven't. By the way, just want to tell you, I just came back. I was not home. I was like, barely made it back home. So I'm so glad to be on tonight's or today's stream. Not tonight's, today's stream. So hey Surfrose, hey Smellywab, hey Lightrace, Joseph, welcome guys. I'm so glad to have you here. So I haven't made my transfer, but I guess if you saw the thumbnail on my stream, I think you would have guessed my transfer. But we're gonna spend some time here. We still got like 50 minutes, so we're gonna spend some time. We're gonna answer some questions, and we're gonna try to the start to the season has been a bit nightmarish, to be honest with you. It's been a tough one to take. I mean, if I hadn't had Joao Pedro in my team, man, it was tough. I had another error of judgment, because last week, like, I put the Bravco on my bench, thinking that Burnley, but like basically Sunderland were good, or Leeds were good, and like they beat West Ham, but it wasn't about Burnley being bad or anything. It is just mainly about West Ham being absolutely crap. Sunderland beat them in game week 1, and then I thought Sunderland is a good team. They're gonna do well against West Ham United, but it was not really about Sunderland the first game week. It was more about West Ham United being absolutely, just bad this season. I don't know what's gonna happen to them. Then they've lost in the Carabao Cup as well to Wolves after taking a 2-1 lead. So it's a tough season for West Ham United, man. It's just gonna go bad. They're trying to sign some players, but they need somebody else rather than every time relying on Bowen to do something for them. They've sold Kudus, he was like one of their talismanic players, and they haven't replaced him really, so it's just kind of a bit all over the place for West Ham United, guys. Joseph says, hey, Wiz, long time no see. Hey, mate, glad to have you here. Abhirup says, can you quickly show a free hit team too? Yeah, I mean, free hit this week, I would put like, for example, if I was you, I would focus on getting like somebody like a Bruno Fernandes, Dorgu, Cunha, or somebody like an Mbumo against Burnley. I think United, if he wants to come back, I think it's gonna have to be a really, really good performance against Burnley. So if I was on a free hit, I would absolutely put 3 United players. I would put somebody like a Richarlison against Bournemouth, and I would stay away from Liverpool and Arsenal players, really. Maybe Salah if you want to, but not more than that. I would load up on United. I would put a couple of Spurs players, especially one or two of their defenders and Richarlison, and maybe I'd add obviously Haaland. I would definitely add on a free hit. Nottingham Forest, I would add Chris Wood as my striker. I would put Matt Sells as my keeper. And Aston Villa, I would put Ollie Watkins. So Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers. So this would be kind of my composition for a free hit team. I would load up on Aston Villa. I would load up on, I would get Chris Wood and Matt Sells from Nottingham Forest. I would get 3 Manchester United players. Maybe Joao Pedro. I mean, it depends on you who you want to get from, as your striker. But Joao Pedro is also a good option against Fulham. But Fulham has a better defense than West Ham, so I would prefer Chris Wood. Manchester United, I would definitely get one out of Mbeumo or Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, and Dorgu as well. Spurs again, a couple of their defenders, and Richarlison if you want to. If you don't, then Kudus. If your forward spots are full, then I would get Kudus. So that would be the basic composition, mate. So what is the Palmer plan? Says Smelly Web. I'll just come to that. Sorry, I just missed a couple of questions, mate. Marco says, hey Wiz, I already did Palmer to Semenyo. I'm thinking of doing Saka to Sar or Gayu to Wood, or both for a -4. What do you think is the best? If I don't do a -4, I have Dewsbury Hall. I think Dewsbury Hall is fine, mate. But the issue with Saka is not going to be back till game week 5. So I don't think there's any point of keeping him. Maybe, you can do... you did Palmer to Semenyo, right? So you want... I think Saka to Sar is good enough, mate. I don't think Gayu to Wood is really needed. Yes, I know you want to target West Ham, but... or you can simply do Saka to a Morgan Gibbs-White. That is also a possibility, because you have a cover. I don't think you need to take a -4, especially taking out an enabler like a Gayu. I think just taking out Saka is good enough. Or you could, even if you don't want to do Sar, you could think about going for somebody like a Kudus. I think Kudus is really good. Wood and Sar for Palmer and Gayu. Yep, I like that. I think it's a good plan, mate. I think a lot of people are going to be making the same moves which you are making. The Palmer plan is to transfer him out, Smelly Web, and I'm going to be doing it live on the stream. My basic plan is to kind of move him on for somebody like Mohamed Kudus. That's what I've been thinking. And, I've evaluated my options with Semenyo. I just don't like the fixtures which he has coming up. So I kind of pivoted more the way of Tottenham, because I like Tottenham's fixtures as more than I like Semenyo's fixtures, so I'm gonna be moving him on for Mohamed Kudus. Ahmed says, however, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Any thoughts, Palmer replacements? Ahmed, I think it depends on how you want to replace him. For example, if you don't have Bruno Fernandes, I think this is a good game week to get him. If you don't want to spend that many funds, you can think about going for somebody like a Cunha. He's been taking really a lot of shots in really good positions, just hasn't scored. I think this would be a good week for him to score. So Cunha, maybe Bruno Fernandes. If you want to go down, then you've got Mohamed Kudus. Semenyo is obviously a good option as well. It depends on what is your budget and what you want to do with that. That's the thing. George says, hey, with Sar or Iwobi for game week 4 to 5? I would go with Sar over Iwobi, mate. I like Fulham's fixtures because, he plays against Leeds, and then beyond that, in the next game week, who do they have? I think they've got Brentford, right? So I like Iwobi, but based on Crystal Palace, I mean, they also have good fixtures, in game week 4 and 5. I think they've got Sunderland, and then they've got West Ham. I would go with Ismail Assar, mate, over Iwobi. CAV says, hey Viz, first time I can make it this season so far. How are you doing? Hey mate, not been a good start for me. I think my rank is like close to 5.7 million or 6 million. I don't know, mate. It's been a weird start to the season for me. Every time, I feel that most of the players have played and I still have a lot of players to play, and then every one of them comes up with a couple of points or 1 point or 2 points. Bruno Fernandes goes and misses a penalty. Players concede last minute goals. So like crazy kind of start to the season, mate. So, but I'm not concerned about my rank at this point of the season. Price changes mean I can't get Salah in for Palmer. Think I'll just roll and play Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall is fine if you want to play him. I think he's got an okayish fixture as well. Abirup says, thanks a lot. You're most welcome, mate. Michael says, hey, with Captain Salah, Gakpo or Fernandes? I'm going for Fernandes, mate. You want to captain Salah or Gakpo? It's totally up to you. And Liverpool-Arsenal games usually have goals, but I just don't feel confident captaining Salah against Arsenal because of the way He started the first two games. He's just been wide. I mean, Gakpo's looked a much more dangerous option than Salah. That's the issue, mate. That's the issue. So I wouldn't go for Salah or Gakpo. I would go for Fernandes. If Amorim has to make a comeback, it is this game. He has to do it. Otherwise, he's a goner, mate. Especially after that Grimsby Town defeat. Smelly Web says, thanks for sharing your thought process. You're most welcome, mate. Thank you so much for being here. Asmir says, hey, Vizzy, it's been a while. Glad to be back on the stream. Glad to be here as well, mate. I was at my wife's place and I just had to rush back just so that I could make it in time for the stream. So glad to be here. Good to be back, says Michael. Absolutely, mate. It's absolutely good to be back. Amit says, hey, Viz, activated my wildcard. Sells Dubravka, Kukurea, Poro, Dorgu, Munoz, Rodon, Gakpo, Cunha. Guys, my voice is coming, right? Just confirming from you. You can hear me properly, right? I hope my voice is not breaking or anything's not happening. I'm just reading his team. Cunha, Mbumo, Sar, Johnson, Wood, Joao Pedro, Ekitike. 3.7 in the bank. No Salah, no Haaland. Okay. All good, says Manuap. Cheers, mate. United losing to Grimsby reminds me of them losing to MK Dons. Yeah, man, it happens. It was they came back, they scored 2 goals, but then they lost on penalties. It happens, mate. Mate, I like your team, Amit. Gakpo, Cunha, Mbumo. I think it looks more like a free hit team to me than it looks like a wild card team, because it's not. It seems like a lot of like these differential players in here, like Johnson, Mbumo, Cunha. If I was you, mate, if I was going on a wild card, I would definitely try to include Salah in there. No Haaland is fine if you want to go with no Haaland, but no Haaland and no Salah, and spreading all the funds around, which you later will have to, kind of rip up your team. It's just a bit tough for me to understand. If you listen to me, mate, if you ask about my perspective, I think I would go with Salah, at least on your wild card. Maybe in place of one of the United midfielders. Cunha or Mbumo, I'll just pick one of them. Thanks, I'd get Gakpo, but with Isak really likely signing, it means Ekitike might eat into his minutes on the left. Yeah, it depends, mate. I don't think Liverpool should have signed Ekitike if they wanted Isak, but I think they were not confident that they're going to get Isak, so they signed Ekitike, and now they have the possibility of signing Isak. So, yeah, I mean, it might eat into his minutes. By the way he has started the season, he has been really good, Gakpo. I'm giving Bowen and Watkins another week. We'll assess after international break. Yeah, that's the right approach, mate. Agree with you. Bowen, I'm not so sure about really, but yeah, you can give him one more week. Saka to Sar and Palmer to Bruno. I like the moves, Abuji. I like that. Palmer out for who? Who should I play? Strand instead of taking a -4 for Palmer. Of course you can play Strand, Joseph. I mean, if you want to transfer out Palmer, it depends on the structure of your team. But you've got some options like Semenyo, Mohamed Kudus, somebody like a Morgan Rogers as well, even though he hasn't started the season well, but he's got good fixtures as well, So, yeah. I'll post my full team soon. Cheers. Thinking of doing Palmer and Tielemans to Semenyo, Grealish, Gakpo, Mbumo, Reindeers. Already have Salah and Bruno starting, Pedro and Watkins. Thinking of Palmer and Tielemans to Semenyo and Reindeers seem to be a good option to me, mate. Semenyo and Reindeers. Hey, Wiz, start Anderson or Richards? I would start Richards, mate. Hey Todd, welcome to the stream. So glad to have you here. He says checking in from Chicago at 4:20 a.m. That's so glad to have you here, mate. I hope you're doing well. Same season, sadly, same United. United made some really, really good signings, mate. I was really, really impressed with them. I'm gonna have to say that. But I don't know what's wrong with them or what's going on and why they kind of, they're not able to kind of produce. It's beyond my understanding. Why United are not... I don't know. 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 Strand is confirmed not to be in the squad. I think then Newcastle might get their man, because Newcastle had bid 60 million for Jurgen Strand Larsen, and initially Wolves said they don't want to sell, but they might. Spellyweb says Trod here for the trumpets. There's not going to be any trumpets today, mate. My transfer is absolutely planned. As long as the servers don't act up, I think I'm going to be fine. I've gone for Palmer to Estevao, following his assist. I'm regretting. Yeah, I wouldn't go there, mate. It's just too early. Even Gittins, I just don't really think I would go there as early as this in the season. Estevao is a good differential. You think he'll start? He might start, mate, but I don't like picking these kind of players at the start of the season. I always like to go for more like established choices. If I had to go for a second player from Chelsea, in the actually I don't really like any other player, to be honest with you, in the midfield. Maybe Pedro Neto I guess would have to be my second choice. Estevao would be far away from my choices from Chelsea. I only like maybe Pedro Neto and Joao Pedro. But Strand has a yellow warning, some Achilles injury or something. He came on and scored in the game, mate. I think he's going to be okay. Dubravka, Tosin, Van de Ven, Ronaldo, Salah, Sar, Bruno, Semenyo, Reinders, Watkin, Pedro. I had to do Palmer and Saka to Sar and Bruno for minus. So that I like your team, mate. It really looks good to me. George says disagree with that. Viz, Liverpool need 2 central forwards right now, and we have only Ekitike. I agree with you, George, but I think Liverpool do need 2 forwards. But when you sign 2 such like 80-90 million players, I don't think Ekitike is going to be happy sitting on the bench playing second fiddle to Isak, and and then if he replaces Gakpo on the left hand side, I don't really think that is his second position or his best position. I think he's good as a second striker, but not good as a left winger. So it's a bit of a problem that Liverpool had created from themselves. Even though they've got, like, if they get Isak and Ekitike, I think that's a great combination to have. But keeping both of them happy is going to be a bit difficult. But that's just my opinion, as being a Liverpool fan, we value your opinion more. But we agree to disagree, so absolutely listen to you. Sanchez, Dubravka, Esteve, Richards, Nico Williams, Porro, Diouf, Martinelli I don't like. Palmer, Salah, you need to transfer out Martinelli and Palmer. Salah, Wirtz, Reindeers, Watkins, Gayu and Fulkrug. Take out Martinelli and Palmer for somebody like a Bruno Fernandes and maybe Kudus, mate. I would replace Palmer and Martinelli with a Kudus and Bruno Fernandes if you have the funds. I'm wary of going with Sarri. Just score from one shot versus Forest and will have minutes managed due to Europe. That's the only issue with Crystal Palace players as a whole, because they've got this European match, and then they've got, like, within 2 days they're playing again. So it's a bit. I'm also wary about that, mate. Also wary about that. Strand isn't confused between Kudus and Semenyo for Palmer. I'm going for Kudus, mate. I'm going with Kudus. I mean, Semenyo is a better pick as a whole, but I don't like the fixtures of Bournemouth. I like Spurs fixtures, and Kudus is in form as well, so I'm going with Mohamed Kudus. Sold Watkins and Palmer for Wood and Semenyo. Now I have 4.3 in the bank. Very strange. I wouldn't have sold Watkins before this fixture, mate. Honestly speaking, I like Watkins' fixture, against Crystal Palace, because they're going to be leggy and they're going to be wary. So why not? Todd says free hit active. Feel free to offer advice. Jose Sa against Everton. Okay. Cucurella against Fulham. Aina, Pedro, Porro, Bruno, Captain Cunha, Mbumo. I like that. I like that triple. Kudus, I like. Alan, Joao Pedro, Wood, I like. See, Todd, I previously, even somebody was asking me to make a free hit team, so I said we have to go for 3 Manchester United players. You don't necessarily have to go for all 3 of them, like Mbumo, Bruno and Cunha. You can actually pick 2 of the midfielders and pick somebody like a Dorgu as well against Burnley. I think that is also a decent option, which gives you the option to kind of, go for you got Joao Pedro, Wood and Haaland. Bruno, Cunha, Mbumo. If I was on a free hit, I will never. Cucurella, Aina, Pedro Porro. 3-4-3-3. You're playing 3-4-3, right? Joe Pedro is fine. Wood is good. Haaland is again good. Sar and Wood for Palmer and Gaio. I like those FPL Juggernaut, the good moves. I'm just trying to help Todd here with the free hit team. Todd, with the goalkeeper. I mean, yeah, Jose Sa is alright. And I've got nothing against him. Matt Sells could also be an option for goalkeeper, you know. But I agree with you. About Jose Sa is fine. Cucurella, yeah, is alright. But Fulham will I think Fulham should score against Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea gonna be able to keep a clean sheet. Fulham are a decentish team, mate. You know, they've got some players who can make an impact. So Cucurella for the attacking returns, yes. Clean sheet, I'm not so sure. Ola Aina is alright. I've got nothing against him. Pedro Porro is good. Bruno, Cunha, Mbumo. Yeah, if you want to play all three, they're fine. Kudus, I really like. Really like Kudus. Haaland, obviously. Joao Pedro, Wood. I don't see any issues with that teammate. I really like that. Yes, if you want to kind of you know, remove one of the United midfielders, if you want to get some other midfielder, you know, then what you can do is you can remove maybe Ola Aina and add a Dorgu. You can remove Jose Sa and add Matt Sells and maybe add one more midfielder, maybe a Morgan Gibbs White, you know, if you want to. If you have or you could add somebody from Aston Villa if you wanted. They play against Palace. But otherwise, I think your team looks good, Todd. I wouldn't change much. Wildcard 4 locked, going rowdy this game week. 1 week punt and got Cunha and Dango. Otara Dango for Wirtz and Palmer. Captain Cunha, other starters, Sells, Cucurella, Nico Williams, Porro, Dorgu, Reinders, Bruno. Like the team a lot and like that thinking a lot as well, Salmon Lee. No smokes, says Wirtz, Reinders, Rogers, bench 1. Wirtz, Rogers, Reinders, bench 1. I'd bench who would I bench? I wouldn't bench Rogers. Reinders. All three of them are like awesome options, mate. I don't I think maybe Wirtz, if I'm not, you know, if I'm not being rude to the Liverpool fans, but I'm thinking, you know, Reinders and Rogers have got better fixtures and they're in better form, I guess. Maybe Rogers, you have to choose, you have to play Reinders, mate, and you have to choose between Wirtz and Rogers. Always love the drama, says John. Hello, Wiz. Thought you weren't doing the stream anyway. Great to have you. Yeah, I wasn't initially, mate, but then I came back quickly so that I could get in the stream. I'm debating whether to captain Cunha or Morgan. If I had to captain out of these two, I'd captain Cunha, mate. Abbas says, what should Kudus owners bring as Palmer's replacement? Semenyo, I guess. Semenyo, Morgan Rogers. Maybe, you know, if you wanna take a bit of a risk, Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, Reinders. You know, there's a lot of good options in midfield, mate. A lot of them right now. Because I've already made my I like your transfers, Juggernaut. I like them. Abbas says Wirtz, Palmer, Watkins. Who to replace and with who? Palmer to. I mean, I wouldn't want to replace Watkins in this game week, mate. I would play him against Crystal Palace. You want to replace Wirtz and Palmer? You could go with a Bruno Fernandes and maybe maybe a Kudus. Bruno Fernandes and Kudus, I guess. Or you could go with if you want to take a bit of a risk, you know, you can go with the Bruno Fernandes and Cunha. Or you know, What does your team look like, Abhas? You let me know and then I'll tell you. By the way, I think I should just go ahead and make my transfer because I've already made my decision. Not gonna change it anyways. So I'm not waiting for any news or anything. I think 3 Spurs players as an Arsenal fan, is not good, but what can we do? What can we do? Kudus for Cole Palmer. There you go. So my captain will be Bruno Fernandes, and my vice captain. Now I've got this dilemma, big dilemma of who should I I've got Wendy Ven on the bench against Bournemouth. I don't like to bench him. Absolutely don't like to bench him. And I've got the money as well to have I got the money? If I want to go from, let us say, a Gayu to a Wood. I'm not sure if I have the money. Yeah, I have the money if I want to go from Gayu to a Wood, but I wouldn't know who to I wouldn't know who to play then. It's gonna be a bit of a headache, so I'm kind of just avoiding the headache altogether and hoping that I make the right choice. Basically this is what my team currently looks like, guys. Who would you put on the bench and who would you put in the team? That's the only question now remaining. Watkins I want to play, Morgan Rogers, Reinders I want to play, Kudus I want to play, Rodon obviously I don't want to play, Van de Ven, yes I want to play him, but for who is the question. Leave it as it is, says CAV. Yeah, I guess so, mate. This is the dilemma of having a very strong team. Bruno Fernandes is my captain. Dorgu. Spurs have signed some Simone guy. Nobody's gonna eat up Kudus's minutes, mate. None at all. Xavi Simons is not gonna eat up his minutes. He doesn't play in the same place. He's not a winger. He's basically a number 8. Xavi Simons. He used to be at PSG. I've been following him ever since he was a wonder kid at PSG. He's a fantastic signing, but they haven't signed him to play in the place of Kudus. I don't think so. Nobody's gonna eat Kudus's minutes, mate. If anybody says that, I don't agree with them. Xavi Simons is not gonna play on the same side. Babin says Kudus or Sar. Babin, you already know I made my choice, mate. I went for Kudus, so for me, I like him more than I do Sar. Yasas says, hi Wiz. Hey Yasas, I hope you're doing well, mate. What's up? Maybe Sar record versus Villa is insane. Is it? Is it? Really? I haven't checked it. Hang on, let me check. Ismaila Sar record versus Aston Villa is really good, right? You say? Hang on, let me check it out. Ismaila Sar. Should I take a -4 and sell Palmer? FPL Juggernaut says you made just one transfer with. Yes, Jugs. Just one transfer, mate. He got about 8 goals in 3 games last season. He always scores against us. Well, you would know. You're an Aston Villa fan, so yeah, I totally get that. Abbas says my attack is Reindeers, Palmer, Wirtz, Salah, Kudus, Gayu, Watkins, Pedro. So what you can do is, mate, you can sell Palmer and get you can sell Palmer and get Semenyo if you want to. Captain Cunha or Mbumo? I would Captain Cunha, mate. Out of these two, I would Captain Cunha. Cunha has been playing really well for United. It's just that his shots haven't been going in. Otherwise, he's been taking really good shots. High XG shots as well. I like how he's been playing. I'm checking his record versus Aston Villa. Just a second, I'll let you know, mate. I'm telling you his exact record against Aston Villa. Planning Palmer, Gayu to Sar and Wood and Captain Wood. I like that. Babin. Cherki ruled out. Cherki is fine. I don't think he's going to be a regular starter at Manchester City anyway. He's just more like an impact player. I don't think Pep likes these kind of players who are actually very, independent in what they do and what they play. So Ismaila Sarr has total appearances versus Villa 7. In the Premier League, Ismaila Sarr has played 6 matches versus Aston Villa and he's had 3 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss. 4 goal involvements in 2 starts in the previous season. Nice one, nice one, CAV. Thanks for the information. Discord info says FPL Juggernaut. Cheers, mate. That's fine. Cherki is not that important for Manchester City anyway, mate. In my opinion, he's not an FPL option. I wouldn't ever go for him, especially until Pep is their manager. I wouldn't go there. Jeevan says, what is the possible... He's going to maybe come back in game week 4. Definitely going to come back in game week 5. Is not out for a very long time. So if you have a bench option that can replace Cole Palmer, then you can do it, mate. You can keep him on the bench. Blood Reaper says, lineup Sanchez, Murillo, Dorgu, Porro. Like that, mate. Was planning to do Palmer to Kudus, Semenyo and Gayu to Joao Pedro, Mateta. Worried about Tottenham's solid defense this season though, and Joao Pedro seems a bit of a bandwagon considering not so easy fixture ahead. I would go for Mateta and Kudus rather than Semenyo and Joao Pedro, mate. I had the money, I could easily have gone to Semenyo, but I selected Kudus. Mr. FPL Viz, what is happening, brother? Hey, James. Welcome, mate. Everything is fine. Just trying to kind of sort out our FPL teams. I hope you're doing well. I hope you started the season well. No worry, he scored twice, got an assist in the FA Cup semi-final 2 last season. Yes, sometimes these players have streaks. For example, I remember, Thierry Henry used to have these streaks against some clubs like Leeds and same with Drogba against Arsenal. There are some players who always score against some clubs, so we always need to have a look at their individual records as well. But European fixtures, like the matches post the European fixtures, are also an important stat that we need to keep in mind. Blood Reaper says lineup. Should I sell Palmer and take a -4? Sanchez, Murillo, Dorgu, Porro, Bruno, Palmer, Salah, Kudus, Hall, Joao and Wood. Who's Hall? Which Hall? Why don't I know about this Hall? Newcastle United defender? Which Hall are you talking about, mate? Haaland. Oh, is it Dewsbury Hall or okay? Dewsbury Hall. So should I take a -4? Should I take benches? Esteve, Anderson, Gayu. Okay. Should I sell Palmer and take a -4? So if you play Sanchez, Murillo, the defense is sorted. Bruno, Salah, Kudus, Dewsbury Hall. You can play. Yeah, I think you can, mate. You can take a -4 and replace Palmer. I think you can. I don't generally recommend a -4, but I don't like the bench options. Only one transfer, says Thakif. Yes, Thakif, I only made one transfer. Just transferred out Palmer to Mohamed Kudus. Prediction for Everton versus was a difficult prediction to make, mate. I feel it's somebody like a 1-1. I think I feel somebody like a 1-1. Any concerns to Kudus versus the way Spurs play and steal of Xavi Simons? No, I don't think Xavi Simons is gonna affect his minutes, mate. I don't think so. Thoughts on Palmer to Reindeers and Gayu or ESL to Mateta? I like the moves, James. I like I like I like the moves. A lot of Villa fans are bringing him to try and jinx it. Well, that's one way of thinking. Yasa says could also do Sar and Evan Nilsson instead of the latter options. Can keep some money in the bank for future injuries if after the international break. Palmer could do Kudushin, Gayu to. I like the previous moves, Yasas. I think these are like really good players you are bringing in even after international break. I think they're gonna be fine. What are your plans on getting Crystal Palace assets? I want to see how Morgan Rogers plays in this game week against Palace. If he still doesn't look good to me, I'll simply replace him and get Ismail Assar, mate. Moves like Jagger, which one is recommended? Gayu or JSL? I think JSL has a bit of this transfer thing in his head. You know, Gayu is a bit of an enabler. If I was you, I'd go with JSL. Bowen to Wood is tempting me. Bowen to Wood. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really like Jared Bowen this season, especially after he was listed as a forward, right? As a midfielder, it was a different issue. As a forward, I don't like Bowen, mate. I'm having, I'm going to be very honest. As a forward, I don't like Jared Bowen. So if I was you, I would do Bowen to Wood. 100%. Should have mentioned earlier, I'm likely doing Palmer and Gayu to Wood, Captain and Sar. I like that, George. I like both the moves. The only concern is because of the European fixture, maybe Crystal Palace assets will be tired, but long term, I like both the moves. Bowen to Wood is a no-brainer. I agree with that. Girid says triple captain Bruno. No way, mate. I wouldn't. Bruno's playing too deep for me to consider triple captaining him. Even captaining him was a bit of a difficult one, but I decided to do it. But triple captaincy, no chance, mate. Not for me. Not for me. Guys, should I double up on Tottenham defense or the Nottingham Forest defense? That is my question, Everything else is sorted in my team, basically. So, Nico Williams versus When. Who should I play? Okay, your time starts now, guys. I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes to vote. Please get your predictions in and or votes in. So basically, should I double up on the Spurs defense or should I double up on the Nottingham Forest defense? That's what I want. It's just split through the middle. It's gonna be difficult to decide this one, guys. All of you, please vote. Who are watching, please do vote. See? It's back again. 50-50. 50-50. 11. just about one more vote for Van de Ven. Again, back. Again. Captain Cunha or Wood? Captain Wood, mate. Captain Wood. Wow. You want me to play Nico Williams over? Hang on. You guys. This is not good. I need clear answers, mate. Clear, like crystal clear answers. This is very difficult for me to kind of. Afternoon, Imran. I hope you're doing well. If you have any questions, you have the deciding vote. I do. No, I can't vote, mate. I can't vote. 16 votes, 50-50 split through the middle. That's exactly what I wanted, huh? Do you prefer Wood over Pedro or Mateta? I do prefer Wood. At least for this game week, I do. In the next game weeks, obviously in game week 4, he has match against Arsenal. So obviously I don't prefer him there. But, this game week, obviously Wood is better. Joao Pedro is fine. You just have to get him as the shield because he has too much ownership to kind of play against. That's the issue with Pedro. Mateta is fantastic. If I had to go just based on the preference, I would go with Wood and Mateta. Think of hamsters and lock your teams. Absolutely. Everybody lock your teams. 10 minutes to go to the deadline. Please lock your teams. I want to bring in Rodgers, but Villa doesn't give me confidence. What do you think about Everton, Palace, Newcastle attack? I think Newcastle attack is good. Everton still, I'm on the fence with Everton. Palace is nice, but then, they've got this European fixture, so you have to think about that. But otherwise, I like Sarr from Palace and Mateta from Palace. From Newcastle, I liked Anthony Gordon, but obviously he got sent off. So you can't get Anthony Gordon anymore. Osula, I obviously don't like because he's listed as a striker. Even in midfield, I really don't like too many options. Maybe you could think about Harvey Barnes, but I just don't like Newcastle options. I like their attack, but I don't like their options. Forrest surely Semenyo in form is a worry for the double Spurs defense, right? That's the only thing. But Tottenham, if they can keep a clean sheet against City, what makes us think they can't keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth? That's the issue. Last concern for me, get in Wood or Mateta. I would go for want to watch Watkins this game week. If he blanks, he'll be out for 1 forward option. I don't transfer in this game week. Go for Wood then, Yesas. Go for Wood. Do you think Burnley will score? It depends, mate. I hope they don't. I hope United bounce back after that shambolic Grimsby Town defeat. But I'm just playing Dorgu because he looks good attacking wise. But let's see, mate. Do you think Palace are creating enough for Mateta to bang after Eze especially? Palace have multiple different ways of playing. One is that Barnes for Palmer. I wouldn't go there, mate. The thing is, they've got a way of playing on the counter attack, and then they've got a way of playing in which they actually build up their play on counter attack. I feel that they've got enough players to put in good through balls for Ismaila Sarr and Mateta for them to be dangerous. Maybe it's gonna affect their build up play. Counter attack, I don't think it's going to be impacted that much. They've got Wharton, and they've got good players who can play decent through balls for them to run in behind. Gayu to Wood, Palmer to Sarr, and then Captain Wood. What do you think? Yeah, that's fine, Abbas. I like that. Ndiaye or Grealish? I would go with Ndiaye, mate. I like Ndiaye more than Grealish at this moment in time. I like. Just doesn't feel right benching when they win, but you gotta have to make these decisions. Nico Williams is getting the poll by 19 votes. So that's pretty close though. It's like split right through the middle. Not much differences. Rumors are going around that Barnes is dropped. I'm not sure about Barnes getting dropped, but even if he was playing, I wouldn't pick him. Why don't you start Wendeven, says Thakif? Over who, mate? That's the question. Over who should I start him? Thanks, Wiz. Good luck, everyone. Great stream. Thank you so much, Todd. Good luck to you. Great team for the free hit, Todd. I hope you bang. Absolutely bang, mate. Play Dorgu, Konza, play Sarr or Wirtz. I would play Dorgu over Konza, and I would play Wirtz, mate. You have to play. If you have Wirtz, you have to play him, mate. Last game week was absolutely bad. I agree. For me as well. Also, Elanga as well. Elanga is a good option, to be honest with you, man. I mean, the thing is, with Newcastle just totally devoid of strikers, it's just it's gonna be difficult for them. Rodgers or Estevao? I would go with Rodgers, mate. Captain Watkins or Cunha? I would go Captain Watkins. Oh, Captain Cunha, sorry. Out of these two. Lock your team, 4 minutes to go. My team has not been locked. You're scaring me, mate. I thought I had made my transfer and I locked my team. Yeah, my team is locked, mate. My team is locked. Nothing to do. From the unreliable Newcastle will on... No, and UFC will is all right, is not that unreliable. But I mean, it's fine, mate. I'm not really in. I'm not too much invested in Newcastle to kind of consider that about their team that deeply. All I want is, like, their team should be sorted. Now they don't have Gordon for 3 more game weeks. Isak is gonna be leaving, so currently they're in a bit of a turmoil, and I don't want to go anywhere close to their assets. So Rogers or Estevao, I would go with Rogers, mate. I would definitely go with Rogers. Let's hope for the best, Cunha, I think Cunha this game week is gonna be like really, really dangerous. He's been taking shots even against Arsenal. He was good. Even in the last game week, even though United drew the game against Fulham, he was good. Cunha was good. He's getting into positions. I really like Cunha. Unfortunately, I just do not want to double up or triple up on the United assets, because I also got Dorgu as well. So I just hope United do well and this game week, and especially for my fantasy team. I hope, guys, please lock your teams. It's just 4 minutes to go to the deadline. Is Sensei the best 4.5 option? Only got 4.5 on a World Cup. Do you rather have Petrovic, Sensei, or a 4.5 million keeper and Lacroix? He said no Barzalanga. Yeah, I get that, FPL Sam. So Senesi is the best. I mean, for best 4.5 million option. How much is Van de Ven now? It's 4.6, right? I like Van de Ven really. Beyond that, I mean, Nico Williams obviously is 5 million. Can't go there. If I was you, I would go 4.5 million keeper and Lacroix rather than the other way around. I think Lacroix is good, especially with the Palace having good fixtures coming up and Lacroix having really good defensive contributions as well. So yeah, Van de Ven is good, mate. Van de Ven is good. I want to play him. Unfortunately, I don't know for whom. Start Marmoush or Wirtz? I would start Marmoush. Best 4.5 million keeper. Oh, best 4.5 million goalkeeper. Just hang on, mate. You're asking me this question very late, but I'm gonna try to. Just a second. 4.5 million goalkeeper. The one which I really like is maybe. Yeah, Petrovic. I don't really rate him that high. Kelleher again. Kelleher, you can think about going with Kelleher. Kelleher is good. They don't have the best fixtures though. Who else is 4.5? Verbruggen, obviously I don't like. Jose Sa, you would go with Jose Sa as well. Jose Sa. Lock your teams. Start Tosin or Van de Ven. I'd start Van de Ven. Lock your teams. Everyone lock your teams. No more questions. Please lock your teams. Last 1 minute is left. Please lock your teams. Go with Jose Sa at 4.5 million goalkeeper, mate. I like Jose Sa there. Nobody else really for me. Jose Sa is the one I would go with. Please lock your teams, everyone. I'd start Van de Ven over Tosin, mate. I think Fulham have the potential to score against Chelsea. I think they do. They're a decent side, They fight back, and it's a derby as well. Lock your teams. You still have the time. Do not get stuck making late transfers and then having players on the bench and feeling sorry when they score. Great stream, Viz. Many thanks. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. I was so glad I could make it back, mate. I was gonna miss this stream so much. I just wanted to be back and do the stream. Cheers, everyone. I'm gonna be taking your leave after the deadline, though. So it is deadline. Oh, I hope everyone made their transfers. I hope your transfers came through, guys. And I hope you were able to answer your questions. And today's stream was a little bit kind of short because I was actually out of station. I was not sure whether I was going to be able to make it, but eventually I did, and I think we were able to kind of make it in time and sort out all the doubts, except Joseph, because his wildcard question came really late. I hope I was able to sort you out, mate. And thank you so much everyone for being on tonight's or today's stream. I hope you have a great Game Week 3. I hope you have a great international break. I hope you enjoy your time off, and we'll be back for Game Week 4 deadline stream. And just I wish you all the best, and may the arrows be green. FP Visit signing out, guys, and I'll catch you in Game Week 4. Till then, take care of yourself. Have a great Game Week. Bye bye.